So welcome back to another episode of the things you guys want to see in FIFA 21. Today we are putting together some of your ideas and concepts, and we're going to be discussing the things you want to see in this year's game. As usual, we're going to be talking about some new faces, some gameplay features, and much more, so I hope you do enjoy. And if you want to get all the latest FIFA 21 news when it happens later on this year, make sure you subscribe today. We've got 76.2% of you guys watching the videos but not subscribed, so do yourselves a favor, subscribe today so you don't miss it. Talk about a player face that needs updating, and in FIFA 21 career mode, I would love to see a real face or a custom face for Ansu Fati. Now this guy plays for Barcelona, which is one of the partner clubs with PES, so this might be something that probably won't happen in FIFA, but you never know, I just want to request it anyway. This guy is a wonder kid in FIFA 20 career mode. I think he's 16 or 17 years old and he's got a 90 potential. So he's sort of similar to Camavinga, and I talked about him last week. So I would love to see at least a custom, even if they can't scan the guy. It's better than having a generic face. And of course, he's one of those wonder kids, so people are going to be using him. People are going to be buying him in their career modes in FIFA 21. And I know a lot of people hate seeing generic faces in FIFA games, and they try and avoid those players as well. And this might not surprise you, but PES actually has given him a real face already in PES 2020, and this is what he looks like. Obviously, Barcelona is one of the partner clubs, so it sort of makes sense, but PES is very quick, not just for their partner clubs, but for just clubs in general. Like Haaland has a real face in the game. It's, I think, because PES outsources their faces to different companies that they're able to get in more faces and they produce them much quicker into the game. FIFA and EA usually do everything in-house, so that's why they just prefer to scan the players and throw them into the game. So it's two different processes, but at least PES just adds new faces each data pack, and there's heaps of them, and there's ones for the young players as well, not just for players that are partner clubs. Next up, we have a stadium suggestion. This one comes from Super Russian. He would like to see Zenit St. Petersburg's stadium in the game. He says that it could make an appearance because it is the final stadium of the 2021 Champions League, and who knows what's going to be happening with this whole Champions League thing now, but EA usually throws in the final stadium in their game. So the World Cup DLC had the final stadium. In FIFA 20 we saw that Turkish stadium in the game as well for the final venue, and FIFA 19 we had the Metropolitano Stadium as well as the final venue. So the chances are this could be added, and you guys might not remember, but this was also a stadium included with the World Cup DLC back in FIFA 18 as well. He would also like to see the Russian League back in FIFA, and of course a Zenit team as well. Now this depends on licensing, because currently the Russian League is with PES for I think 2 years already, so maybe they'll renew it. I don't know what's going to be happening now. I haven't heard too much about it, but yeah, he would like to see the Zenit team come back as well, plus the Russian League and this Zenit stadium as well. Next up, we have a career mode suggestion from Matt. He sent me this tweet and he goes, I've got some ideas for FIFA 21 career mode. They may be just personal ones or good ones across the board. Firstly, I think it would be good if you could choose the current manager. Example, if you choose Liverpool, you can choose to be Jurgen Klopp, or if you choose Man City, you can be Pep. Now, this is a feature that a lot of people were calling for even last year. This year, they've got the customize your manager sort of thing, which is pretty good. You know, it's a big upgrade from what we're used to. But the next step is to also be able to use the current managers in the team. You know how fun it would be to do a Solskjaer thing where you pick Man United and you do the career mode with Solskjaer instead of being your own guy? Sometimes you get sick of creating your own guy. You just want to be the guy in real life and create a storyline based on that. Also, it would be cool to be Mourinho as well. And yeah, they just need to open it up where you can use current managers in the game as well. And another cool thing would be to have like free agent managers. So I think they've got like manager faces for managers like Pochettino that don't actually have a team at the moment. So you could have him as one of the free agent managers where you can put him in any club that doesn't have a licensed manager in the game. And there's probably other guys that have a real FIFA manager face, but they're not coaching at the moment, that they could use as well as part of this feature. Now we've also got another career mode suggestion from Matt. And he goes, also I think that there should be a halftime team talk, which would look a bit like the press conferences feature already. And you can talk to your team and say that they're doing well or bad at halftime and get their morale up, get them pumped up to try and win or hold the lead you have. So yeah, I think one of the next things they could do with FIFA as well is introduce halftime team talks. It is an important part of football. Even if you play it yourself, you'll know that halftime team talks can make or break a game sometimes. And in real life, they do their halftime stuff as well. But in FIFA, you just get a cutscene and then you're on to the next half once you press the play button again. Now, if I could visually show you guys what it could look like, this is PES 17 or 18, I can't remember. But they have locker room scenes. You can't really do much with them. They should improve these kinds of features as well, Konami, but they don't. And let's say you could choose what you wanted to say here, and the players are all there on the bench listening to you. And then as you're talking, the morale will go up or down. and that's basically what it could look like. I think in the future there could be some sort of halftime team talk thing, but they would need to do it properly, because currently, the press conference stuff, the questions they ask sometimes don't really make sense to the situation. So I can imagine how buggy this would be in the first few years of the feature if they did try and introduce something like this. But I think it could be cool, but I think some people would skip it as well. Some people get bored doing these types of interviews and press conferences in career mode. So obviously they would probably have a thing where you could choose to skip it as well. So this sounds like an important one for a lot of people in a certain part of the world. This suggestion comes from Elya Samini. Sorry if I said your name wrong, but he would like to see African content in FIFA. More specifically, he would like to see some leagues like the Moroccan or Egyptian or South African League. These leagues, according to him, are considered as the best leagues in the continent. Now, if that is not possible due to licensing and all that kind of stuff, he says even the addition of the CAF, the CAF Champions League, and the CAF Confederation Cup would be nice as well. And then he finishes it off by saying it's really sad to see African football is being ignored by the game. And we were waiting for a long time for African content to be added in the game. And that, to me, sounds very, very important for certain people around the world. They would like to see African content in the game. So EA, get it done. Give these people something so they can enjoy the game like everyone else does around the world. Now, over the years, if you Google it, you will find many Reddit posts and EA forum posts regarding this sort of thing. And one person wrote on Reddit 4 years ago, why does EA completely ignore Africa? And he goes, at the time there was only 2 teams from Africa in FIFA. These 2 teams as well have done nothing to be said continentally. And then he lists a bunch of clubs that EA have ignored that could have been in the game. Now the main answer to these kinds of questions is of course money. And this guy writes, they obviously don't think they get enough money from Africa, or they think it doesn't make a difference in how much money they get from Africa. So yeah, maybe it's not a big customer base, maybe it's not profitable for them. And this is also another interesting thing as well that I found. And this was also from 4 years ago, but it said, this might interest you to know that Football Manager's director, Miles Jacobson, got asked a similar question over on Football Manager games. So they've also bugged Football Manager about this sort of thing. And basically the guy said that it was a cost-benefit analysis. So basically the money that they could put into it with licensing, with adding this African content in, is not going to bring them back a good return on investment by the sounds of it. So that's why they're not really doing much for the African continent. And then you've also got to consider how easy it is to acquire licenses in that region. I don't know how easy it is. Some countries or clubs might even be selling their rights to PES, which makes it hard for EA to get them. It's a bit of a mess, these licensing things, but it's all about, at the end of the day, cost-benefit analysis for introducing stuff and trying to get a return out of it. So this next one is a very important request from the Nintendo Switch FIFA community, and this one was suggested by Eliezer. I probably said your name wrong. But he goes, please improve FIFA 21 on the Switch. It's so boring to play on the Switch. Now this year FIFA 20 hit some controversy on the Switch, because basically if you bought FIFA 20 for the Switch, you've actually bought FIFA 19 just with new kits. And I'm not even joking, because if you go on the Amazon website and you look up FIFA 20 for Nintendo Switch, this is what it says in the description. EA has actually called it a Legacy Edition, and it says it features the latest kits, clubs and squads from some of the top leagues around the world. So that sounds pretty promising. The next stop point kills all the promise, because it says same gameplay innovation from FIFA 19 without any new development or significant enhancements. Well, at least they're honest, saying that there is nothing new here in this game besides the kits. But how do you release something that is meant for the Switch, and it's pretty popular to Switch as well around the world? It's meant to be portable, and that's the main difference between a PS4 version of the game. I would actually buy one if FIFA was good on the Switch, like if it wasn't just a repeat of the Legacy Edition. So they just decided to give up on that platform completely already. And I know the Switch is not as powerful as any other console out there, but I'm sure EA could have made a good game on the Switch if they really wanted to. Remember, the PSP games of FIFA were pretty good. They had a lot of features that you could get on PS2 as well. But instead, they've just decided to give it up already after 1 year and just create legacy editions for it. So what's the point of buying this anyway on the Switch? Oh yeah, you also get new menus. So the dot point underneath that says updated visual identity with a newly designed in-game front, end, and menu screen. So congratulations, you got new menus. And that's basically all you need to know about the FIFA 20 Standard Edition for Nintendo Switch. Basically a legacy edition. Don't even bother buying this at full price if you play on the Switch. Next up, we have a suggestion from Stan, and he would like to see in FIFA 21 Career Mode the ability to arrange a one-off friendly match before the preseason tournament starts, or even instead of the preseason tournament. So replace it completely, like give us the option to either do preseason tournaments or pick from a bunch of friendly matches. Now he says that you should also be able to do friendly matches anytime throughout your season. Now I don't know how this would work with you know, versing different kinds of clubs in your league and stuff, but maybe you could verse a youth team or a reserve team. I don't know, maybe just like a practice match between the reserves and the first team. That could be possible. There used to be a feature in the old career modes, maybe FIFA 08 and stuff, where you didn't have any preseason tournaments, but you could pick from 4 different preseason matches. So you could just invite clubs from around the world and verse them instead of doing a full tournament. And you could verse some great clubs or some easy clubs. Whatever you wanted, you could invite. So yeah, if they could give us the option to skip the preseason tournament and just pick 1 or 2 friendly matches, that could be cool as well. And also giving us the ability to do practice matches in career mode would be fun as well, because you can test out your formations rather than using them on the field in a competitive match, and you can verse the reserves and see which players are good and bad. This is stuff that they should introduce, and a lot of people want it as well. If you want to watch another FIFA 20 video, make sure you check out this one. Hit the card in the middle, it'll take you right there. I'll see you next time.